Well, absolutely. And I remember, ISIS, they're just driving around in these vans and trucks and kidnapping and taking sex slaves and killing people. And then that's under Obama. And then Trump comes in, and within a couple blinks of the eye, he decimates ISIS. So gotta ask yourself, what was Obama doing that whole time? And I think we know because through work such as Robert Spencer's and Daniel Greenfield, and in our book on Obama, we know that he was enabling terrorism, and we know that Biden is very much, Obama's third term and has been enabling all these awful bad characters as well. So I want to talk about Obama here for a minute in terms of maybe what he's thinking right now, where he's at, because I was quite, worried about this upcoming election, and I think in many respects the fix is in on many levels. The globalists have a lot of power, the leftists have a lot of power, they cheat a lot, etc. So I was thinking, man, is there any way that we can break through this? And when I saw Obama at that funeral talking to Biden, he seemed very upset about something. He seemed worried. He seemed like he was panicking. And he's usually very cool, acting cool, at his speeches and laughing and everything. And yeah, he did a little bit of that with the Eminem thing that he did. But those last few speeches he was making at some of those rallies, he first of all, he looks more and more like a demon, in my opinion. There's just something so evil about him. And he's aged and he's angry. But he looked worried. He looks angry. And I want to ask you guys, I think he's got a lot to worry about. I think he's done a lot of evil things. He's done a lot of, I think, illegal things. I think he's got a lot to worry about. What do you guys think about Trump getting into power now and what might be on Obama's mind? Steve?
Oof, boy, that's a loaded question. You know, what I'm really kind of surprised at, is that the media hasn't turned the guns,
Mm,
to, figuratively speaking, obviously, to the Obamas and said, but if not for Michelle Obama, if she would have jumped in, it would have been different. There's probably an argument that could be made that it would have been different had Michelle Obama jumped in, but she
mm,
did not jump in. Barack
mm,
Obama did what Barack Obama does. He worked behind the scenes. I saw him at that funeral too, and you're right. He was obviously something was on his mind, and I suspect that they were looking at some internal polling and they did not like what they saw. And I think Obama's shadow has long been cast over the Beltway and the Democratic Party and the DNC. I think that shadow got a little bit shorter, and I think that's got to be freaking them out a little bit. Like I said before, they have lost the block voting mentality of African Americans. That's gone now, at least for now. We'll see how long that lasts, but it's gone for now. And same with Hispanics, and it's just Obama is probably nervous because he sees the coalition that he helped create kind of start to fray at the edges a little bit, and Trump has a lot to do with that.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. And his legacy, obviously, very harmed. But I think there's also a lot of secrets there and all that stuff that they did behind the scenes against Trump. And a lot of it was very questionable. And the Trump administration may now start finding out about a lot of that and maybe doing something about it. What do you think, Daniel?
Well, I hear there's a really great book about the impact of Barack Obama's True Legacy. I hear it was edited by a guy named Jamie Glazov, and people should absolutely go out there and get a copy if they want to learn more about Obama's impact. In more recent days, Obama has tried to control the process. He was very likely behind the donor coup that ousted Biden. He never really wanted Biden to replace him with Kamala, who was supposed to be Barack Obama in the skirt, and that part did not work very well at all. And no matter what Obama has tried to do to control the country after his time in office, he's really has not succeeded very well at doing it. There was this kind of terrifying, terrible era where he seemed to have a death grip on the American psyche, where he seemed to actually be able to do whatever he wanted. But that grip, that kind of evil magic has been fading. It's been fading more and more. And when we saw him there, he's telling black men that they're sexist for not being enthusiastic about Kamala. We just saw really that it's coming apart. The magician spell has been broken. People were speaking out against him, and I mean, black Democrat men were speaking out against him. They were angry, and whatever he was bringing to the table just was not there anymore. The particular spell he had faded. We saw back in the day, Bill Clinton seemed to be able to command crowds. It did not last very long. Obama lasted longer, but it is completely over. And yes, he's very frustrated because the man is a narcissist. We spoke about celebrities earlier. Barack Obama absolutely needs to have the sense that he is the most important person in the world. He was this kid who wanted to, above all else, he was thinking he was going to be president. He wants power. He wants to be in the spotlight. And this was really the acid test for him. Kamala banished Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, who might have actually done more useful things, was there, speaking to a bunch of guys on a porch in Georgia. Joe Biden was banished to speaking to maybe 10, 12 people. And he actually does have some roots where he might have influenced people in Pennsylvania. He actually did have better numbers with the white working class than Kamala did, but she banished all of them. She just brought out the Obamas to make her closing argument, and the Obamas absolutely failed. Barack and Michelle Obama bombed, which means their status as kingmakers in the party, the power that they wield, that's over with.
Mm. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Stephen. Back in the day, Andy McCarthy, Ben Shapiro wrote some books during the Obama presidency about why he should be impeached. What a case each of them made. And I don't think that those issues necessarily have gone away. And I think that some of them are on Obama's mind, and some of them may still be dealt with.